Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Marketing Podcast, your source for everything marketing. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Shana Starr on the line, and she's CEO over at Bastion Elevate. Shana, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Adam. I'm happy to be here.
So excited to get into our topic today, which is what should businesses be thinking about in branding in 2020? So hot topic, new year, everybody's thinking about it. But before we get into that, let's just start off with an overview on what you're doing over at Bastion Elevate, please.
Sure, thank you. Bastion Elevate is a PR and social media firm, but what makes us unique is we're part of Bastion Collective, which is a large marketing services agency conglomerate out of Australia. And so what they do is work with agencies and partner with agencies that provide unique value propositions. So we're the only PR and social media agency in the U.S. They have one in Australia, but we don't have competing agencies in the U.S. And our sister agency, Bastion Rare, and Bastion DB5, they do different things. So Bastion DB5 does digital marketing and DB5 does customer insights. So what's great about having a group of agents of marketing professionals is that if our clients want something or they're interested in maybe SEO and we don't offer SEO, we know that there is a partner or a good recommendation that we can give to our clients to make sure that the work is all working together, very integrated, and very top level. I think today as budgets are tight and marketing is so all over the place, which is great, Adam, that we're talking about what companies should be doing in 2020. You really need something that's moving with the times and changing and everything working together. And so although our expertise at Bastion Elevate is PR, media relations, executive positioning, social media, digital media ads, that type of stuff, our services spread outside of that into what the Bastion Collective can bring as expertise and really help our clients. That's what we're after.
Yeah, I love it. And I love the model. For my longtime listeners, you may or may not remember, I had on Dax Cornelius, who's also part of Bastion Elevate, and who I need to remember, I questioned him, what came first, the fighter pilot status or the name, Dax Cornelius? I'm like, come on, that's branding. Your name is branded you as a fighter pilot. I don't buy it. I'm like, I don't know. But which one came first? It is ridiculous. So that being said, so what is, obviously you're in this amazing collective. What has that meant for your business? Let's start there.
It's really meant that, back to the core value is it really services our clients better. So, there's so many different marketing agencies available from, small one-off people trying to freelance and grow their own business to big agencies that only work with big brands. And if you get the funding and you're able to work with them, you might be a small fish and maybe, you don't get the attention you deserve. The great thing about the collective is, we can work with agencies or with businesses, from any size, from startups to large brands, but we're able to service them with different areas of marketing initiatives that really drive the process. Because we know when we're working with the client, right, all we're all trying to do is get our marketing dollars paid for so that they can keep us on, right? So, we're all driving towards that goal of generating business, driving whatever value proposition there is to drive, and making sure that we're able to deliver on those services. So when I'm working right next to, say, Jeremiah Jacks, who's CEO of Bastion Rare, I know his team does amazing work. So I'm quick to say to my client, if they need it, hey, I've got somebody you should be working on to do X. And that's the real difference. And I've seen it with my clients across, the board.
That's awesome. Let's switch it up a bit, Shana. So I want to get into what businesses should be thinking about in 2020 when it comes to their branding and PR. Where do you want to begin?
Awesome. Yes, I'm super excited about this topic. I think every business should be asking this. And, everyone's been talking about content marketing, but content marketing is still just a huge driver for business. When you think of a marketing plan from a business perspective, right, you should have a CTA, which is a call to action. What are you trying to incite your customers to do? You want to engage with them. You want them to like you. So you really need to have some great content that engages them, doesn't just sell to them, but actually gets them interested in your business. And I think from a marketing perspective that is truer now more than ever. And I think a lot of brands continually try and sell, and what they should be doing is looking to connect and engage and looking for all their marketing programs, campaigns, initiatives to be something that's of interest to the people that they want to be have interested in them.
Can you give an example of, because I think sometimes businesses don't know. If you don't come from a marketing background, you don't really know that you're trying to sell sometimes. And you think, so for example, you think that you get on a video and you make it really nice and really pretty, and then you talk about your product to the client, and you're not trying to sell because you gave them a nice video to watch it. And that may not be the case. So can you get a little bit deeper in what it takes to create content that is that's really engaging, because it's a little bit different than just making it pretty.
That is so true, and that's a great point, Adam. Great question. So, part of it is really understanding your value proposition, and I think a lot of brands that specifically if they're not working with a seasoned marketing firm or outside arm, they keep talking about themselves like you're supposed to know, right, Adam? Like you watch a video and you're like, I don't know what this actually does for me. It was pretty, and I love the sunset, but I don't get why I would care about this company. And I think the main thing that brands really need to do when it comes to creating good content marketing is explain what they do and explain why it matters and really make sure they're connecting. Again, it's back to that engagement idea, right? Like make sure that they're really connecting to their potential customers. So one of the things we also recommend for companies looking at marketing initiatives, and we see trends as like who is actually buying their product. So this comes, to our sister company DD5, and I hope that you get to talk to Chris and Neva over there, but it's really, what are they interested in? Why would they care about this marketing, this video? That's great. So you really have to know what your brand proposition is, spend time really explaining it down to like the most granular level. Like not everybody understands your marketing tagline or your buzzwords. Make sure that it's very relatable. Make sure that it tells the story and that you took the time to really talk about the benefits of your company. And I think that's where creating good content and creating really valuable content comes into play. And it's still going to continue to be a huge trend through 2020 and beyond.
I mean, but the best part is, like, when you win that battle, when you create the right type of content, and when you create, you have a completely different type of user base. I don't care what industry it is. You have a whole different type of, your clients then become like followers. It's just, it's amazing to me that, like, you see, and I won't, different brands, by the way, so we won't, I'm platform agnostic when I use this as an example, just for everybody listening. So when I say the word Instagram, it doesn't mean that I think everybody should be on or that it even matters. When I say this, though, it's a good example because you can see it. You can see when you have people that follow, not only that when they follow these brands on Instagram, where they're not necessarily, maybe they follow the founder, right? So, but sometimes you see them where, okay, they follow the founder, but then you look at the company brand and you're like, whoa, the company brand is doing something right, because that's a big company account and they're engaged, and you can see the conversation back and forth, and you can tell, and when you really think about it, you're like, what does it take for somebody to follow a company on Instagram and to comment on a post? So not a person, but a company. It's like, wow, they're doing something right. They're really creating loyal followers and loyal long-term clients that are probably going to buy most of the products that this company lets out. And you see that many times in the fashion space and in the makeup space and things like that. And that's just an obvious example, but every different platform has their own has their own platform that they really excel in. Mine, I'll be biased. Mine is LinkedIn. I excel on LinkedIn. We get a lot of traction on LinkedIn. I always tell people, I'm a rock star on LinkedIn. I mean, Instagram, all these other ones. Maybe now I'm like, check out my LinkedIn though. I'm like, check out my LinkedIn. Endless comments and endless likes.
Google me.
So, but that's what happens when you get it right. You know, if you really get it right, then, and you really understand your audience and you know who you're talking to and you give them messages and content that they want to hear and see, I mean, it's just night and day from just spewing out a bunch of pretty posts.
Absolutely. That is so true. And that leads to my second tip. Our trend for 2020 is that integrated marketing plan, right? So you talked about the CEO, for instance, of a big brand, and the CEO is talking about something and the business is talking about something else, and they're not really connecting. So even from an executive level, when you look at your leadership, you need to make sure your leadership has the same type of message. If I'm pitching you out, Adam, to speak with media about marketing and business growth and marketing trends, I better be able to go to your LinkedIn, right, and see that that's what you're talking about. And I think so many people, because a lot of executives don't know how to integrate their any type of social platform into their overall voice or expertise, that marketing agencies or the marketing group within that brand really needs to be looking at that. Because I know from a PR perspective, when I'm pitching out an executive to speak to something, I always say, you better be talking about that online. That's the first thing press go to. And they'll ask for your LinkedIn, and they'll ask for your, if it's a beauty brand, the Instagram, they'll ask for those social assets because they want to make sure you're active, that you're actually talking about exactly what we're pitching you. And if they're going to feature you in some sort of either broadcast story or, even online publication, they want to make sure that you are who you say you are and that you've got the expertise to speak to that story. And so integrated campaigns and integrated, between your PR, your social, your content, it really all should work together, again, to drive that overall, growth strategy. And I think a lot of brands are remiss on making sure that all of those, that triangle is working together.
I love it. So, Shana, I could talk to you all day about this, and you already know we can, but we're about out of time. So that being said, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information on Bastion Elevate, what's the best way for them to reach out and to connect?
Sure. The best way is to send a email to level up, just like it sounds, LEVEL up, at bastionelevate.com, and we will be sure and answer you right away and connect you with the departments that you need to, and always here to help. And I did LinkedIn you during this interview, which I thought we were before, but we are now connected, and I can't tell you how much I have enjoyed this, Adam, and appreciate your time.
Awesome. Well, been awesome having you on the show. Great times. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. Hope you had a lot of fun listening, because we had fun making it for you. So don't be scared. Hit the subscribe button. It's okay. We want you to keep on listening, because without you listening, there is no podcast. So definitely give us a subscribe there. Leave us a comment in the comment section. By the way, if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Marketing, definitely subscribe there, and let's continue the conversation. Don't let it end here. So definitely leave us some comments on this video and on others. I'd love to reply and love to keep the community growing and glowing. And Shana, thanks again for coming on the show.